Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kaycey Hadl, and I'm with the Elemental, and welcome to this week's reading for March 15th through March 21st. And this week we have several various different pieces that we're going to start out with, making our elemental design for this week's reading. And in these pieces, what you'll notice is there are a couple pieces from last week that are reappearing in this reading. And what you'll find is a lot of that information from last week carries over to this week, of course, because it's only a week ago, but it's also that similar vibration that's still coming in. So I'm going to work through putting together these pieces into our wonderful piece of art and see what comes through for us. So first we're going to start out with this wonderful piece of cork bark. And for all of you that don't know, cork bark is oak. And what's really neat about it is that if you put it in water, it actually floats. And so if you're ever having like a bath or something like that and you want to put it in the water, you can put a cool little candle on it and you can kind of float there in the water. You can put flowers on it, all sorts of different things, different uses for it. But what I really like about cork bark, with it being oak, is that it really represents strength and leadership. And so we're starting that for our base. Next, we're going to work with, the desert rose. And what's cool about desert rose is when it's forming, it's formed from wind and dirt and earth and all sorts of pieces that kind of beat it into this wonderful shape of a beautiful rose. And it is a mix of selenite and all those different variants that have formed in it. And it's not formed for thousands and thousands of years like other pieces of rock and crystals. It only usually takes a couple hundred years to form the desert rose. And what I like about the desert rose selenite is, it looks like a flower. It's absolutely beautiful. But it just feels wonderful when you hold it. Obviously you don't want to get it wet because it is related to selenite, which it won't hold up good in water. Essentially it kind of dissolves. But it's going to relate to the crown chakra as well as the base chakra. And the one thing with desert rose selenite is it really aids in transformation in all aspects. And so it's created from the earth, and it's created by the wind, and it's created from the water, all these different elements that mix into this one beautiful thing. And that's what's coming up today with our reading, is that we're in a big cycle of transformation. Okay, and so we're going to see where this guy wants to go. It wants to go right there. Okay, next, what do I want to put on here next? All right, next we've got this really cool piece of orthoceras. Now this is a multi-clustered piece, so you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 orthoceras, and essentially this is a fossil. And what I really like about orthoceras is it was formed about 400 million years ago, and it's a really nice grounding and protective stone. It's super, I can't even think of the word for it. It's just really grounding, and it just feels so good when you hold it. It really helps to reduce tiredness, exhaustion. If you're doing any sort of past life healing, this is going to be the stone for you, because it really is going to help you to go back to those past lives and go through the motions when you're bringing up that information. It also helps with balance, and it's a really good stone for personal growth and transformation. So let's see where this guy wants to go. It actually does not want to go on top of the wood. So we're going to put it right here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so our next stone is going to be Shiva Lingam. Now, what's really neat about Shiva Lingam is actually it is formed by water, and it just embodies that flow right inside of it. And what I like about this stone in particular is that it has like a eyeball on it. And you know, I always think of like our own awareness as we move forward into this higher divinity, if you will, or this transformation, the spiritual transformation that we're all kind of going through. This is really the stone for you, because it helps to accelerate that transformation. It can also ignite the Kundalini, in our base chakra and really bring forward that spiritual knowledge, as well as keeping the balance within us. And when we're going through those spiritual transformations or upgrades, if you want, balance is the key. When your body says to sleep, sleep. When your body says to eat, eat. And listening to that body and maintaining that balance. It also helps to balance the feminine with the masculine. So you can see kind of all this different colors, striations on it, and it just feels so awesome. It's so smooth. It's like holding a piece of the earth right in your hand, right? And obviously it is, but this stone is way more grounding than your other stones. Let's see where it wants to go. Right there. Okay. And next we have this really cool orb that we had last week, and this is going to be pink tourmaline with smoky quartz, and then your standard clear quartz, just kind of all modeled in there together. And I really, really love this one stone. I've had it for quite a while, and I've used it in quite a different stone meditations. But pink tourmaline and smoky quartz is all about coming into our higher heart chakra and releasing those things that have been holding us back, allowing that transformation to happen as we release the old and move into that new portion of ourselves. Okay, and it wants to go there. You know what I find a lot with these weekly readings is it's not so much about the beauty of the piece, but it's all the information that comes to the piece together. Okay. Next we have another little piece of Orthoceras. This is the same as this over here, except if it's just a single piece. And so, we're getting a lot of support in our transformation here in all sides, spiritual support, earth support, fire support, wind support, getting support in all directions. And here's another support here that's coming in, and it wants to go right here. Okay. Next piece we have coming up is going to be this black murex shell. And black murex, I always kind of think it has like a little crown here on top. And shells are all about water. They're all about transformation. They're all about embodying that feminine origin. And what I love about this one is, the darker colors are all about going through the darkness to get through that transformation, to get through those emotions, to allow that fluidity to come and really start embodying your divine feminine self. Let me see. Now, where does it want to go? Oh, it wants to go over here today. Let me see. All right. Next we have this awesome little air plant that we're going to put in here, Tillandsia. And as I said last week, I have a lot of different air plants, but I seem to always pick out the one that looks like it's had a rougher time than others. And it's got, it's got little frayed leaves. It looks like it's like one-sided over here. And when the plants come up in the readings, it's all about personal growth. It's all about taking care of ourselves. And since this piece is a little haggard, extra self-care this week is going to be our number one thing. So once again, when our body says sleep, sleep. When our body says eat, eat. When it says meditate, meditate. But really listen to ourselves so that we can grow into a whole individual person as we are. Okay, it wants to go right here in the middle. Let's see. I'm going to kind of adjust this just a little farther forward here. Okay. So each piece kind of comes into place where, the beginning to the end. And this next little piece of wood I have here is birch. And birch is all about our new beginnings. It's all about transformation. It's all about releasing the old so we can really step forward into that new beginning. And that's us developing this strong foundation. With each life that we've lived, all the lessons that we have learned, allowing that transformation to happen so that we can have our new beginning, so we can have those things that we really desire in our life, and releasing those old things that no longer serve us. Okay. The next piece of wood here is going to be cholla wood. This is really cool. You can use these to make wands. It is a type of cactus, and you can kind of see the pitting in it here. And then up here at the top, you can see if you whittle it out of here a little bit, you can put you a nice quartz point in there. Cholla wood is really about desert alchemy. It's about protection spells. It's about getting through the darkness, weathering the storm so you can get to that most wonderful beginning that you're wishing. It's really used for transformation in that desert alchemy. And once again, it's about that new beginning and that transformation. So where does this guy want to go? It wants to go right where it was at, right? Okay. And our last little stone here is going to be your chevron amethyst. And chevron amethyst is all about calming the anxiety. It's all about trusting in your intuition. It's about releasing those old things, those old habits that aren't good for you anymore. It's about that spiritual awakening and that personal ascension. And what I like about chevron amethyst is it has these little record keepers in it. They're usually triangulation shaped. You can't really see this one so well, but it's here at the top. Oh, there it is a little bit right here. But that's going to be, also embodying the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the Mother, the Maiden, the Crone. That number 3, okay, which is all about our spiritual ascension and transformation. And it's going to go right here. Man, that is really cool. Actually, I love the way that this one turned out this week. Now, usually I have a little plant here in the shell or something, but he just wants to be right there. And as I'm looking at this and kind of allowing the information to come to me, kind of bringing all these pieces together, we're going to start here and move forward. But in order to get to that new beginning, that transformation, allowing it to happen, know that you are supported on your journey and the finding balance, that you are protected and being supported by all your ancestors, being supported by God, whoever, the Creator, the Mother, Gaia. Everyone and everything is supporting you on this spiritual transformation. So have courage. Have courage to step forward and step forward into that heart space, allowing your heart to open, allowing that transformation to happen, and knowing that when you step forward into your full power, when you step forward into your divine feminine and your divine masculine, you find that balance in your life after you went through this dark night of the soul or these harder patterns that have really come up to surface that really need to be addressed. After you get through all this and you realize that you find your true self and you start being your true self, that you really will begin to grow in all the things that you desire. But the number one thing here is, in order to grow, you must take care of yourself and listen to your body, listen to your soul, in order for that transformation to happen. And essentially that's what's going on this week as we're moving into this higher transformation, this higher spiritual ascension. We have the spring equinox on March 20th, which is Saturday. Here at the shop, we're having a drum creation workshop where you can embody that spring equinox energy into that drum that you are creating. And then you get to take it home with you. So allow yourself to beat to the new drum of your life. Allow yourself to transform with that energy coming in on spring equinox, because it's going to get intense, folks. So really make sure that you're grounding and, combining your base chakra with your crown chakra. And that's really what that desert rose is about, is trusting in the divine plan for yourself. And that after you move through the darkness, after you move through these harder things in your life, you will transform into everything that you desire. And Spirit is really, really supporting you on this journey. So once again, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I really, really appreciate you. And we've got the spring equinox drum creation workshop on this Saturday, March 20th. And then the following week, we have our spring psychic celebration, March 27th and 28th. So I look forward to seeing you here at the shop at 537 Central. And feel free to reach out to me on my website at www.theelemental1.com. And once again, thanks for tuning in today, and I appreciate you.